Welcome to Van Life 365, where we bring you along our travels from exploring the Smoky Mountains to living on a farm. I'm Eno.
Eno?
This is Eno. I'm Kaylor.
I'm Zach.
Let's get into it. So the first state we went to was Tennessee. So we had a road trip from New York to Tennessee. I think we only had like one stop in between.
But it was about 18 hours of driving.
Yeah, it was a lot.
The first day we drove 10 hours, and then we parked
In a Cracker Barrel.
In a Cracker Barrel, yes.
And then the next day we did like 9 hours.
So like the worst and best part of that trip, like the driving. I think the worst part, there was a random road towards like the bottom of New York, I believe.
Yeah.
Cobleskill.
Yeah.
Cobblestill or whatever.
Cobleskill.
Yeah. That road is so bad. I don't recommend driving on it ever. It is potholes. Yeah. It's the worst road that we've driven on so far. Mm-hmm. Except the gravel roads, but it wasn't that far from it.
I don't remember it that well.
Ugh.
I kind of like pushed it out of my memory.
I wish I could.
The best part for me was all the snacks that we got. I love a good road trip snack.
The sunset in PA.
Oh yeah.
When we were driving through PA and there was a sunset over the city line. Mm-hmm. That was nice.
It was.
But once the sun set and it was dark out, it was so draining to drive because you have nothing to look at except headlights. Yeah. And those hurt to look at. It was a long drive and it was a draining drive.
Yes. So our first big stop that we went to was the Smoky Mountains.
Yes. It was it's a national park.
It is. It was our first national park together.
Ever. My first ever. Well, no, I've been to the Grand Canyon a while ago.
I've been to Acadia.
Yes. We've never been the first one together. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot because it was just a big mountain range. Mm-hmm. Very depressing that it was cold.
It was cold. We did not have any heat or water or anything like that.
Yeah, it was 26 and we didn't have our heater going. For some we didn't have batteries.
And we didn't fill on propane yet.
No.
We weren't even cooking. Were we?
No, we were cooking.
Oh.
We just didn't have batteries to turn on the...
Yeah, we just didn't know how to work the whole RV yet.
Yeah.
So we were living out in the wild.
Yeah. I feel like we would have stayed there a lot longer if we had electricity.
Yeah.
Like we would have rented like a camping spot in each park they had open, I would have thought. And we would have done a lot more hikes, but it was so cold and we were kind of like, we enjoyed it when we got out and walked. Like we kind of walked around for like 2 days. We
brought the cats on their first stroller ride.
Yes, we did.
So cute.
They loved it.
And we had to drive through Gatlinburg.
Oh my gosh.
That was so stressful.
Yeah.
It's super crowded and we went in the off season and we had the RV going on this like pretty like tight traffic road and I was freaking out.
There was it's like a strip of New York City. There was probably there was so many people on the sidewalk. People were walking in the road because they all couldn't fit in the sidewalk. But it was weird because when we went down there the next day, there was like no one there. It was like a ghost town. But we did go on I think we went on a Monday. It was good. It was kind of underwhelming. I don't really like city stuff that much.
Yeah, it was all touristy things like, oh my god, buy this souvenir. Yeah. There wasn't really much else. Mm-mm. Or just like expensive activities that are like $100 to do. Yeah. But we did get the Sky Pass, which is a thing in Gatlinburg where you go up this gondola up to the sky deck. And it's just like a big patio. And there's a big sky bridge that has a glass, or not even glass, like a clear plastic piece. When you're walking over, you like look down.
It could be glass.
I think it's plastic.
I don't know. There's some glasses. But anyway, it was clear.
There's a whole loop around. It's like a big loop that you walk on.
Yeah.
There's a little tower in it. And the whole view is just the Smokies. And it's beautiful.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah. I think it was $60. I think it was $30 each or $25 each.
It wasn't too expensive.
No, it was worth the price.
It was worth the price. We got a lot of good pictures and it was really beautiful.
Yeah. If you're gonna do that, definitely book ahead of time because there was a whole line of people and since we booked ahead, we got to skip the whole line.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
Online booking is prime.
Yeah.
And I think there's also a discount, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit cheaper.
I think it was like $5 cheaper, but...
Yeah.
And then we walked to Gatlinburg because we had to walk to Gatlinburg to go to the Sky Pass.
It was like a mile or two.
It was more than that.
Each way.
It was like 2 miles each way.
Because we parked in the Smoky Mountains and walked to Gatlinburg because there's nowhere to park down there. Mm-hmm. We walked. While we were there, we also got Chicken Guy, which is Guy Fieri's restaurant.
It was good. It wasn't like the best either.
No, it wasn't amazing.
It was good for us because we didn't have fast food or food, so it was nice, but it wasn't like crazy. One more thing.
It was like Chipotle style too.
Yeah. Like the building, yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing about the Smokies that we didn't put on our list. We ended up driving through the Smokies to go to our next Harvest Host. And I thought it was gorgeous. Like, we drove through the Smokies for about like half an hour, like mountain view, like all inside the forest. Mm-hmm. And then the Google Maps took us this one way, and it came to a right. We were on the Smokies, and then we took a right, and it took us to this bridge, and we were supposed to get on the highway. The bridge could not hold our weight limit, so we had to turn around and continue going through the Smokies.
All the way.
Yeah.
Which wasn't stressing.
It was, yeah, there's no clearance on the edges.
No, you just fall off.
Yeah. And we were, we're RV, so we don't have that much clearance anyway. So we did that. That was I liked it because it gave me something to look at, rather than just road and cars. It was stressful at some points, but overall, it was a very good experience.
We also ended up sleeping in the Smokies illegally. Yes. We were parked in the parking lot, like I said earlier, and we ended up sleeping there and then adventured the next day as well.
Well, we had a booking. It's not like we did it on purpose. Like, we didn't go there planning to sleep there. Like, we were gonna go, I think it was to a Cracker Barrel. We looked up the crime rate there, and they're like, don't park here. You can, theft is very common. Like
auto theft.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's not good. And we'd rather, get a ticket for however much than get broken into in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So.
And it was fine. No one bothered us. I did try to call the Smokies, too. Mm-hmm. I called the ranger station, multiple times. No one picked up. And I also called the help center, and no one picked up. And then, after we drove through the Smokies, we ended up going towards Nashville.
I was stoked for Nashville. I got cowgirl boots specifically for Nashville. Mm-hmm. So I wore those. And then we went to the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Country Music Walk of Fame. And I loved every second of it. It was wonderful. How did you feel about it?
The Walk of Fame?
Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Pretty boring. If you don't know country music, you don't know the people who sing, I barely know songs, the artists of songs, general songs, even songs I like. Mm-hmm. So, there I was just like, wow. There's a lot of people that like country, that sing country music.
Yeah.
I was just there for you. I enjoyed watching you be a little kid walking around, and that was probably the best part.
Mm-hmm. We saw a Taylor Swift dress. Well, actually several, and it was amazing.
Yeah, they had their own educational center around Taylor Swift.
Yeah, there was a whole Taylor Swift area, and we got to a part with Reba. He doesn't know Reba. Nope. I was so disappointed. Then after the Hall of Fame, we went to Prince's Chicken, but we had to walk to it. We walked everywhere in Nashville, because Ubers are expensive. And we parked outside of Nashville, too.
And we Ubered in.
Yeah. So we went to Prince's Hot Chicken, which also was not as incredible as we imagined, but it was decent.
It was food court food.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Very hyped for no reason.
Yeah, it's super hyped up.
But I also think maybe it was hyped when the food was actually good and they didn't have a lot of people.
Maybe. So
they could actually focus on the food. They were pumping out food.
They were so fast.
They were busy too. There was at least a good 40 people, 20 people in the line waiting to get their order, and then 20 people waiting for their order to actually come out.
Yeah.
And it didn't end. People kept coming and coming and coming. And then we walked again.
Several miles.
Yes.
All the way to the Parthenon, which I was also so excited about. It's the Roman Parthenon, but in Nashville, surrounded by fields. Or big grass areas.
A big courtyard. A massive courtyard.
It was cool.
I really wish that we went there during the time where they have I think they have a market. I heard someone talk about being there. There's a lot of events that happen in that courtyard, and I wish we would have went like that, because we would have got to feel the vibe of the community.
Yeah.
But we really didn't get that in Nashville. But it is a city.
I loved Nashville, though.
I loved it. It was fun.
That was one of my favorite parts of our trip so far. We tried going to Knoxville. It did not work. We tried going to the Sun Sphere.
And we saw it.
Yes, we did. But when we tried to go, we had to find parking, which was not good.
We went to try to find parking. We came to this, I pulled into this parking lot because Kayla said, you can park here. I pulled in, and it said, employee parking only on the sign, and there's a car behind me. So I couldn't back it. There's no going back.
No.
I was in it. And I literally got in there, and all of them are parked diagonal. Diagonal, like a T.
In a loop.
So, and people in Nashville did not pull all the way forward at all. Knoxville, sorry. Don't pull all the way forward to pull in. So they're like halfway out, and there's barely enough room for a normal car to get through. Mm-hmm. So like I had to drive around this whole loop, and I probably had an inch or two of clearance.
Yeah, I had to get out and guide him.
Yeah.
Because it was so close.
And then we decided, Knoxville, we're not going. And we went to
two different parks.
Yeah, and then we went to a Harvest Host, and they showed us. They're like, you should have used like Google Maps satellite. And literally on the other side of where we were trying to park, there was a parking for buses and RVs. 2-minute drive. And we just didn't know. Mm-hmm. Because we were looking at like the default Google Maps. So that's a tip, I guess.
A tip, yeah.
If you're doing RV, to try to find a parking space, just do Google Satellite to see like the biggest opening.
Yeah.
And go there. So
we tried going to 2 other parks after that just to try to experience Knoxville, and they were not good. One of them, we went to 3. Yeah. We tried. One of them, we exceeded the weight limit. The second one, we weren't sure if we would fit under the tunnel.
We wouldn't. Well, we would, but it was like...
It was too close.
It was like an inch clearance. So if there was a bump in the road, we would have like hit our AC unit.
Yeah. And then the third one was Botanical Gardens, but it was sketchy.
Yeah.
Like, you had to go through a sketchy neighborhood, and then you park, and there's a sign that says, like, lock your vehicle. Basically, that things can get stolen.
So apparently that's common, though. Like, I've seen that everywhere now.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it. Like, that was the first one we saw, and we're like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Like, it's common for people's stuff to get stolen.
But the whole area was sketchy. Like, there were bars on people's windows.
Yeah. There was, like, barbed wire on certain places. It was a bad location. So we parked there, and we sat there for a minute, and we decided we're not going to do this, and we left.
And that was our Knoxville experience.
We found 2 little small towns that have a very good homey vibe.
Yes.
And they're small, but they're places that we actually enjoyed. The first one is where Vienna Coffee is, which is an amazing coffee shop that we worked at like 5 times.
Yeah.
5 to 6 times.
A lot.
Good internet. Mm-hmm. We didn't have any problems.
Good coffee.
Good coffee.
Good chai.
Good chai. And that's located in Maryville. And it was a very like homey vibe. It's kind of like, it reminds us of a hometown. It's basically a road that has all the stuff.
Yeah, but then it's close enough to the Smokies where it was nice.
Yeah, it was maybe an hour drive from Smokies.
And then we found Franklin, which is near Nashville.
It's a suburb.
And this place is expensive, but beautiful.
Yes. They have
a really cute downtown area.
Very cute. They have like a town circle.
We went there like
2 times. 3 times.
No, at least 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember we went there once on accident. Like, we found it on accident. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to walk there. And then we worked there. Times. But those are the 2 small towns that we fell in love with so far.
Yep. On our way out, we had to pass through Memphis.
Yes.
And that led us to Arkansas, which we'll go over another time.
Yeah. And we were going to go to Memphis.
Yeah.
But then stuff happened.
A lot of news stories happening, and everyone we came in contact with was like, don't go.
And we're like, yeah, we're skipping Memphis. They're like, yeah, don't go. Like, even our Uber driver said, yeah, I grew up in Memphis. It's not the place it used to be. I would not recommend going.
Mm-hmm. And while we were in Tennessee, we stayed on 2 farms. One was, I think, in Maryville. The guy was super nice. So was the girl. And we were surrounded by animals for like 5 days. Yeah,
it was literally like chickens were running around, ducks were running around.
And then we stayed on another one in Franklin.
Yes.
Which happened to be the 2 places that we loved.
Yes.
But
so apparently if we stay on farms, we love it.
Yeah. But there were a ton of goats and alpacas.
Yes.
And
I miss the alpacas.
The dogs, the chickens. They were so cute.
They were. All of them were cute. And that was our whole Tennessee experience. There's obviously more in between, but that was the gist of it.
Yeah, if you want to see more, go watch my YouTube channel at Kayler Stacy. I vlogged all of Tennessee.
And also follow our Instagram.
Yes.
Because we are very active on there.
We post every day about our adventures.
That's currently happening, actually.
Yeah, in real time.
Real time.
Right now, this is like a while back.
Yes.
Tennessee was in February.
Yes.
But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Tennessee. If you did, make sure you rate the pod, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Everything.
Follow our Instagrams, do all the things.
TikTok.
TikTok, yes. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.